Littlebigplanet story mode has always been one of its most beloved features, but have you ever wondered how would the game play if it actually had no gravity? Well, think no more, because today I decided that I would obey the game's premise and literally get creative by tweaking the entirety of 19 levels out of 26 to have zero gravity. So basically it would be like Sackboy walking on the moon. Truly a small step for Sackboy, but a giant leap for Craftworld. Sorry, had to involve that joke. Anyways, get prepared, stay tuned and enjoy this totally not chaotic type of video. And if you enjoyed this one, check out my other challenges. As always, we start with introduction, and yeah, it becomes abundantly clear that the gravity affects our movement, and especially our jumps. Despite that, the level can be finished in seconds due to how easy it is. The other levels though, as you will see, will become a bit more chaotic. The next level, called the first steps, has us literally skipping walking at the first section, and has us flying into the clouds. Don't know why the clouds are that low placed though. Then we can go to one of my all-time favorite characters, which is Dumpty. And yeah, it has become a tradition by now. Sackboy has to always fold him like an omelette. He's an egg after all. Anyways, after taking him into the skies, we can continue to skip entire parts of the level by ascending into air and jumping time after time. We can then skip Henry and leave him without clothes, and afterwards the level can be finished pretty quickly after talking to the king. The next level has us learning the grab mechanic, because why not? And as you can see, Sackboy immediately begins to fly those things around and mess with the hard work of the developers. Still though, we can manage to move past most of the stuff, and we can save our precious time by avoiding the swing parts, because even though my costume is a Spider-Man inspired one, Sackboy decided to become a different hero this time, today with his newfound gravity powers. We can proceed by doing the final race and then end the level. The final level of the gardens has us spinning on the windmills and flying in heights I never thought were possible. And yeah, Sackboy might have found where the developers hid their secrets. After grabbing and doing a bit of flexing, we can continue making our way further into the level, and upon arriving on the castle, I tried venturing to find other hidden secrets, but to no avail. Then we can enter the castle, and due to our superior jumps, we can skip the shoe parts with no problem. After a bit of sweeping through the level, we can part ways with Dumpty by playing his favorite game. Yep, you guessed it, a bit of adrenaline doesn't harm Sackboy anyway. Then we can manage to end the level and move to the next world. The savannah starts and ends with us stuck on the submarine. It's literally impossible to get out of it due to the gravity flying it way past the sensors that open its doors. So this level enters the list as the first one to not be completed. The next level starts with Sackboy walking past the first jump section with ease and avoiding the fire. After it we can mess a bit with the monkey and leave him on the fire. Don't worry though, he doesn't get burned off for some reason. Afterwards we can make our way to the next parts by jumping across the buffalo and by continuing to make some strategic jumps to skip the big crocodile section. Later we can make the drop down sections with little to no problem because the gravity helps us avoid the dangers surrounding the area. In the end we can finish the level unlike the previous one. The final level of the savannah starts with a big drop down, which as you can see takes a bit of time because of the gravity. Then we proceed by slowly navigating through the tight spaces which this level is known for, even though that's not the only thing that stands out. We then continue to move forward until we meet with a big meerkat that wants to reunite with his son. Well, about that. That reunion might not be as pleasant as they would have hoped. Still, after letting them sort things out, we can manage to cross the last section and end the level. The next world is a wedding, which honestly turns out to be quite easy. The first level is just jumping around and walking on the ceiling of the buildings or whatever they are called. We can proceed with no caution, and after jumping on top of the big skeleton character, we can skip the last part and finish yet another level. Up next is one of the creepiest levels due to how dark it is. Honestly, never quite understood how on earth is the player supposed to finish this and ace it at the same time. Like how? Anyway, with the help of our friend, the supposed dog, we can manage to move forward with no problems. And I say supposed because in what universe does that thing look like a dog? Hope I'm not the only one who thinks he looks more like a rat. Still though, he does his job until we betray him by leaving him at the hands of the collector. We can then proceed to act like nothing happened and continue moving forward. And yes, this section here made me lose it because the bats somehow have gone out of control. Like it took me some tries to finally make it past them. Then we can take Don Lu and move him out of the caves until this section here where things go downhill very fast. Yep, it's not doable. I tried and tried, but due to the gravity it's literally impossible, so yet another level enters the unfinished list. Finally though, we can make our way into the first boss of the game. And let me tell you, after that hard darkness level, this one gets totally chaotic but in a good sense. And this is why. For the first time, Sackboy has become the rider of the schooldozer. Talk about a true boss. Yes, after seeing the distraction we can then end the level and move to the next world. Well then, it's time for the canyons, which is one of my favorite worlds in this game. Mainly because of this one level though, don't like the other ones. Anyway, we can make some high jumps and cross the first sections. And yeah. I generally think Sackboy has lost it. He literally threw that cow into the cactus. I don't think he can recover from that. After that we can traverse across the city with ease and use a rocket to literally fly and skip a large portion of the level. Then we can walk on top of the canyons and fall straight into the scoreboard where we immediately end the level. Next is the mines, which will always be one of my most hated levels. Don't mind me though, it's just that it's very long and honestly a bit boring. And that's why I had to mess with Jalapeno. Yes, that's his name. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. After that we can continue to move forward. Yes, I know how many times I have used this phrase, but I don't have that many options, you know? There are some seriously incredible moves we can make in this level though. Such as after the boring spinning wheels and all that, we can actually manage to abuse the fire and float around and literally skip entire impossible sections without the minecarts. Afterwards the level can be cleared by escaping the fire boulder in the end. The next level though, called the Serpent Shrine, is easily one of the funniest and broken ones. Not only does it sometimes get annoying when you kill the enemies, but you can actually clear the serpent parts with no problem, because most of them disappear very fast due to the gravity not letting them fall with their usual speed. And yeah, they have timers because of the emitters for you that know a bit of LPP create mode. Here are some of the most prominent instances. Next, we can continue to float like a living balloon and finally after some time arrive at the boss of the canyons. The first section of the boss is actually hilarious due to, well, this. The bombs have chosen to flee from Sackboy, that's how terrified they have become. And speaking of terrified, yes, this is actually in the game. Don't ask me, ask the developers. The next world, the Metropolis, starts with the easiest one by far. I mean, it's an open sky with little to no obstacles. Plus, Sackboy can show off his new driver's license that he got last week, or who knows when that happened. Like this is the reason why you shouldn't drive without one. Anyways, we can float around and skip an amazing chunk of the level. And after Sackboy hitting leg day on a handmade last resort gym, we can sweep through the level and ace it. The subway starts with Sackboy taking the elevator, but don't worry, he won't be stuck on it like some of my nightmares. We can clear the way and honestly this level is as straightforward as it gets. After taking some buses, hopefully not for school, we can finish the level in no time and move to the next level that's playable. And if you do wonder why some levels are missing, check out my previous videos where I explain everything. The Temples, which is an Indian-inspired world, starts with a big balloon, but little does it know that the real balloon is our Sackboy right here. Yep, I know this is the second time I call him that, but it ain't my fault. We can proceed to show our supremacy by bypassing all the dangerous parts and then try to skip a large amount of the level. But as you can see, it's not something we can do, sadly. After that disappointment, Sackboy can continue to venture around and, well, fly past even more dancers, which figures because the level itself is called the Dancer's Court, so there's that. After charming none of them, Sackboy can continue his journey into the next level. And yes, the painful and boring level called the Elephant Temple is up next. Honestly, just let me give you a quick montage and move to the final two levels. And just like that, we arrived at the final world. We can start the first section by fumbling a couple of times until Sackboy finally realizes his true powers and decides to cheat his way out of the level. And yeah, this is what he literally does. Just like that, we can skip every single annoying part in the level, and finally we can move to the final boss of the game. Let's see if he can beat it. This one I'm gonna let you guys enjoy, just for a bit though, as you will see.
Run.
Yeah, all that fun comes crashing down because the collector has decided to call it a draw for some reason. So we cannot complete the level because he stops moving. So I guess Sackboy cannot beat the game without gravity, so there's that. Anyways, that's all I had for today. Thank you so much for your support and patience. I know it's been a long time since I last uploaded. If you enjoyed, go check out my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. Bye and see you all in the next one.